Now we're going to be making a crispy skin salmon with a farro salad and an orange dressing. Okay, so for the dressing, I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of the orange juice, a tablespoon of minced shallots, white balsamic vinegar, and olive oil. And I like to use chopsticks to mix my stuff. So I'm just gonna mix this all together. And this dressing is like a citrusy, but also with the shallots, it kind of adds a little, almost like spice. So it will go really good with the cranberries and the orange. Now I'm gonna put, after I've mixed all that up, I'm gonna take just a little pinch of some cayenne pepper. And I like my food extra spicy, so you can just add as much as you want. Then I'm gonna mix that all up, add a little salt, just to bring all the flavors out, and a little pepper, but not that much because we already have that cayenne pepper in there. And after you've mixed that all up, you're good. Okay, so now for my salmon, my fish. At the store, they already had it filleted, so I just got 1 fillet. And it's a fairly small fillet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it out of the plastic and just lightly pat it dry so any of the excess moisture is off. Then with some salt and pepper, I'm just gonna take a pinch and season it on the actual meat and then turn it around and also season the skin. And since we're doing a crispy skin salmon, you want the skin to be really flavorful. Then I'm just gonna pat it into the salmon. And don't forget to get the sides too. Then I'm gonna take my pepper and just do the same thing that I did with the salt. Put it on the skin, the meat, and then if there's any kind of excess on the paper towel or then you can just take the sides and pick the pepper up from that. And that's all we're doing to season the salmon. Okay, so before I actually cook my farro, I'm gonna toast it. So I'm just gonna turn my heat on like medium high and then just lightly coat the bottom of my pan in some olive oil. Now this is just some dried just the grain farro, and you can find this at the grocery stores. I know Trader Joe's has it, that's where I found it. So I'm just gonna pour this into here and just kind of try to coat all the grain in olive oil. And then you just kind of want to just kind of stir it around for a little bit and then maybe flatten out on the bottom of the pan and then just let it sit for a little bit and then kind of stir it again, let it sit just to toast it off. So it kind of has that almost like smoky flavor, but not in like a burnt way. The farro is starting to kind of toast. You don't want it to be too brown, just a little bit. So now I'm going to take my chicken stock. You could also use vegetable stock or water even, but I'm just using some chicken stock because it will add more flavor. And I'm gonna turn my heat down to medium and then just stir this and cover it until the farro has absorbed all the liquid. Okay, so now we're going to be cooking the salmon. And I'm gonna start by just turning my stove on to high and heating up the pan. Now I'm gonna heat up the pan first so that when I put the oil in, it kind of heats up and I can just put the salmon in. So the oil I'm using is canola oil because it has a higher burning point so that you don't get that kind of burnt taste and smell if you're gonna like use olive oil. So I'm just gonna wait till my pan heats up. Now this is just to coat the whole bottom of your pan. And then when I put the salmon in, I'm just gonna wait actually to, when you look at the oil, it kind of looks like waves in the oil. And then that's when you know that your oil is ready and hot. So I'm seeing them. So I'm actually gonna put my salmon in, skin side down, and put it down and put it in not towards you so none of the oil splashes up onto you. So now I'm just gonna let this sit for about anywhere from like 5 to 7 minutes. And I'm at the very last minute, I'm gonna flip it over to the meat side. But since we're gonna do crispy skin salmon, I want the skin to get really crispy and kind of cook the salmon from the heat from that. And just kind of make sure it doesn't stick. And then I'm just gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna take my splatter guard so nothing hits me, none of the splashing oil. And this is just to be safe. Okay, so my farro is about done, so I'm just gonna turn the heat off, but I'm gonna leave it in the pan. And my salmon is done, but just to kind of finish it off, I'm gonna take it and just flip it over. And, oh wait, I need a spatula. Thanks. And just finish it off really quickly, just to kind of cook the top. And then I'm gonna take a baking tray or a plate with a paper towel on it. And put it skin side down onto the paper towel. Okay, so now we're gonna assemble the farro salad. So I'm actually gonna start by taking an orange that I just took all the skin off of, and I'm just gonna cut it into about 1/2 inch segments. Then, after I cut about 2, I'm just gonna cut them in half. And then you can kind of see in the orange, you can kind of see the triangles, the different segments. You just want to cut like 2 of them at a time. Just so you get kind of larger triangles, but it's really pretty because you're getting the segments of it. Then I'm gonna just put that aside for just a teeny bit. Then I'm gonna take a bowl and I'm gonna put all the farro in. And then I'm gonna put my cranberries and just kind of like a large pinch of the orange zest. And then I'm gonna mix that up first and make sure it's incorporated thoroughly. And I'm not gonna add the orange yet because I don't want to kind of crush any of it so any of the juice comes out. I'm just gonna add that very end so it just kind of gives it a little more color. I'm actually gonna add all the zest because I like the color of it in the salad. Then once it's all incorporated, I'm just gonna take the segments of the orange and just give it some nice folds. Just to kind of mix them in, but I don't want to be too rough with them because I want them to still maintain their shape. And that's really all for combining all the ingredients for the farro salad. Okay, so for plating, I'm actually gonna just start by taking my vinaigrette that I made before and then just going around and making and kind of lightly just pouring it around the sides, and so it drips down. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my farro salad and make sure I get some of the orange, the cranberry, everything in there. Just make sure everything's showing. And then I'm going to take my salmon and I'm gonna put its skin side up. So put the meat down on top, kind of just wiggle it in there. Then I'm going to garnish with some more orange slices. So you can either put it on top, and I'm just gonna kind of layer them. I'm just going to sprinkle some microgreens on top of that, and just kind of around the dish. And put some right on the top. And I'm done. Okay guys, I'm ready to eat. Ooh, the skin's really nice and crispy. I guess this will work. The sweetness and the chewiness of the cranberries with the acidity from the orange and the vinaigrette just goes perfectly together. And the freshness from that orange, the fresh orange, it's like it kind of bursts in your mouth. And the salmon is just, it's almost creamy. It just brings the whole dish all together. Thank you. I hope you guys try out this dish. And let's move on to the next one.